Good morning, all, and Jai Sadgurudeo. Welcome to the weekly Sunday Satsang organized by North America Institute of Vihangam Yoga. My name is Neetu, and I have joined this Satsang from Edison, New Jersey. Before we begin this session, let us all bow down and offer our prayers to the holy feet of Lord Sadgurudeo. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurudevo Maheshwara Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. I welcome you all to the weekly Sunday Satsang. In the current times, our day-to-day life gets consumed in fulfilling our physical and mental requirements and social responsibilities. In this fast-paced routine, the requirements of the soul are often forgotten. So, I congratulate each one of you for taking some time from your busy schedule to join this session to fulfill the requirements of the soul. It is with Sadgurudev's blessings that we are here today in this satsang to dive into the wisdom of Swarved. So, with this feeling of immense gratitude in our hearts, let us get started and welcome Sadgurudev to bless this occasion by reciting the Swagat Gan. I would request everyone to sing along with your phones muted.
स्वागत नित्य गुरुवर संत शुभागम आइए। आज स्वागत नित्य गुरुवर संत शुभागम आइए। अध्यात्म विद्या दिव्य ज्योति सोम रस बरसाइए। अध्यात्म विद्या दिव्य ज्योति सोम रस बरसाइए। आज स्वागत नित्य गुरुवर संत शुभागम आइए। स्वागत नित्य गुरुवर संत शुभागम आइए। आज स्वागत नित्य गुरुवर।
Our next prayer to His Holiness is the Mangal Gan. Let us immerse ourselves in His thoughts and pray to Him to eradicate differences and ills among various classes, communities, and sections and have universal peace. Let this earth be a heavenly place with plentiful bliss, prosperity, and peace. I would request everyone to sing along with your phones muted.
विश्व शांति नाम मंगल परम गुरु को ध्याइए। विश्व शांति नाम मंगल परम गुरु को ध्याइए। वर्ग द्वंद्व अशांति दूर कर भाव भेद मिटाइए। वर्ग द्वंद्व अशांति दूर कर भाव भेद मिटाइए। विश्व शांति नाम मंगल परम गुरु को ध्याइए। विश्व शांति नाम मंगल परम गुरु को ध्याइए। समष्टि सत्ता ध्यात्म राज्य बनाइए। सार्वभौम समष्टि सत्ता ध्यात्म राज्य बनाइए। भेष भाषा भाव जगमय ज्ञान पर दर्शाइए।
भेष भाषा भाव जगमय ज्ञान पर दर्शाइए।
विश्व शांति नाम मंगल परम गुरु को ध्याइए।
विश्व शांति नाम मंगल परम गुरु को ध्याइए।
समृद्धि सुख शांति धरातल स्वर्ग भूमि बनाइए। समृद्धि सुख शांति धरातल स्वर्ग भूमि बनाइए।
स्वर्ग भूमि बनाइए।
विश्व शिक्षक जन सदा फल नीति स्वर अपनाइए।
विश्व शिक्षक जन सदा फल नीति स्वर अपनाइए।
विश्व शांति नाम मंगल परम गुरु को ध्याइए।
विश्व शांति नाम मंगल परम गुरु को ध्याइए।
वर्ग द्वंद्व अशांति दूर कर भाव भेद मिटाइए। वर्ग द्वंद्व अशांति दूर कर भाव भेद मिटाइए।
विश्व शांति नाम मंगल परम गुरु को ध्याइए। विश्व शांति नाम मंगल परम गुरु को ध्याइए। परम गुरु को ध्याइए। परम गुरु को ध्याइए।
Today's satsang is a continuation of the recently introduced section called Swarved Wisdom, where we attempt to understand the meaning of Swarved Dohas that our speaker has selected for today. This will be an interactive session, so I would request you to ask questions and share your thoughts and understanding once the speaker has explained the Doha and its meaning. Our speaker for today is Dr. Subhash Ji, who is a sincere disciple of Sadguru and inspires us with his seva. Subhash Ji is a doctor by profession and specializes in the field of psychiatry. We have had the opportunity to listen to Subhashji in the past satsangs and understand about the human mind, which is such an important topic in spirituality. I would like to request Subhashji to enlighten us with the wisdom from Swarved. Over to you, Subhashji.
Thank you, Neetuji, and Jai Sadgurudeo to all. My prayers in the holy feet of Sadgurudeo. एक शब्द गुरुदेव का ताको अनंत विचार ताके मुनि जन पंडिता वेदन पावे पार वेद थके ब्रह्मा थके थकया शेष महेश गीता हूँ की गम नहीं तह सदगुरु उपदेश तीन लोक नव खंड में गुरु से बड़ा न कोई करता करे ना करी सके गुरु करे सो होय अखंड मंडलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः यह तन विष की बेलरी गुरु अमृत की खान शीश दिए जो गुरु मिले तो भी सस्ता जान. Thank you, NAIVY, for organizing this weekly satsang and giving all of us the opportunity to indulge ourselves in this meditational session, which allows us introspection and make a better version of ourselves. Recently, with Swamiji's arrival here in USA and with his blessings, so many people are experiencing the effect of Swamiji's presence and have variety of divine experiences. In the same moment, there are other disciples who have started questioning themselves that why only certain group of people are having these divine experiences and why not me? So here Swamiji says in Surveda, धीरे से सब होत है बन अधीर क्या पाए पाश लक्ष्य दूर जात है चंचलता के आए. everything happens gradually, and impatience brings nothing but failure. We need to remember that with impatience, the goal, which is closer, even that goal goes far away if approached with restlessness. So, to those disciples who are feeling that restlessness, that they are also committed, they are also doing their duty, due diligence, and meditation twice daily. How come they are not getting certain opportunities, certain blessings, and certain experiences which others have? Remember the word patience. Impatience brings nothing but failure. So, ban adhir kya paye. Adhir is impatience. Kya paye means what did you get or what will you get if, if you are impatient. Paas lakshya dur jaat hai. Pass means the closer. Lakshya is the goal. Dur is distant. Jaat hai. So the goal which is closer, even that goes far away. It becomes distant. Why? Chanchalta ke aaye. Because with impatience, chanchalta means restlessness. With impatience and restlessness, even that goal goes far away. It's very important to nurture patience. And then gradually, it leads to control of our wavering mind. Because what we see in this physical realm is not in sync with our mental energy. For example, there was a great archer, and that archer was known for his precision at the target. A disciple came to that archer, not a disciple, but a regular person with the intent of becoming an archer, came to this well-known, recognized archer. Here, the archer, the guru archer, started teaching the disciple how to stretch the bow and the arrow, how to look at the target, and how to hit the target with accuracy. Within a few days, the disciple learned the technique, how to keep his hands straight without bending the knee, how to pull the wire on the arrow and look through the eyes with precision. He kept on doing it, and few days passed by. And now he is waiting to learn something else. He asked the master archer that, what now? I have already learned the technique. He said, no, you haven't. To master's utter surprise, this new disciple challenged the master. If you think, master, that I have not yet learned it, how about we do a contest and we will see how many arrows are hit with precision at a point that we both decide. The master found it humorous. He knew the ability of the disciple. He knew that he is not at all prepared. But to teach a lesson, the master agreed. So early morning, they both woke up, decided a distant point, and the new disciple began firing his arrows. So he wanted to fire as many arrows as possible so that he will have more arrows that have hit the point with accuracy. What ended up happening is that none of the arrows were able to hit the accurate point. So the accuracy was very poor. Now the master's turn came after the disciple. Master did not fire a lot of arrows. He was patient, slow, focused, but every arrow that he fired were struck right on the target. Every arrow that every time he pulled and the arrow left, it was right on the precise point. So now the disciple was ashamed. He asked the master that, what did I miss? Whatever you taught me is exactly what I'm doing. So the master told, your entire focus has always been the speed. You just want to make sure that your arrow goes fast and you can fire as many arrows possible. But it's not about the speed. It's about you getting in sync with this archery, you feeling the pleasure. And when you are pulling the arrow backward, you should not be lost in anything else but this arrow and the precise point. Instead, your focus has always been that the moment I fire this one, I have to pick the next one, then I will fire it again, then I will go to the next one, and again I will fire it. This way I will have fired many more arrows. No, this is not the way it works. Your focus was on speed, and the outcome was you fired at least 50 arrows in the same time, although none of the arrows have hit the target. My focus was on enjoying this process. And the only thing I could see, imagine, or feel in that moment was the point at which I had to hit the arrow. And the outcome was I fired only 10, but all of them hit the target to absolute accuracy. So the moral of the story is we believe that we have learned the technique and the physical part of it, the physical aspect of it, how to sit in asana, how to do it twice a day, follow the routine. But sadhan and Sadguru's blessings and the importance of Sadguru and the importance of bhakti, devotion, being in unison and realizing that this is what defines your whole self, this is what defines your identity, is much more important. I'm not saying that without these integral parts, you cannot be a disciple. The good thing is that at least you have come to Sadgurudeo's holy feet, seeking and wanting to learn archery. That in itself differentiates us, most of us, from the regular human being, that we have the desire to learn archery from that master. But it is not a knowledge of haste. Nothing can be hurried. It's not like one of our physical goals that I achieve this and then I will move on to the next one. It's about self-realization. It's about being unison of your body with your mind, and the mind is already wavering. So it's just not about the trick and the technique. It's about inner self, self-realization, and feeling the presence of that Sadguru in the molecular level. So this is the first doha that I chose. And if anyone have anything else to share on this one and would like to discuss, please, back to you, Neetuji.
Thank you so much, Subhashji, for selecting this doha for discussion. And as you shared that a lot of disciples at this time would be reflecting with the presence of Lord Sadgurudeo here, that what could they have prepared better, or what they are experiencing or not able to experience. Is there something that they could have done better in their preparation or in their journey? So it's a very good time for reflection and to make any correction. And you explained the Doha very beautifully, that having patience is the essence of progress. And I don't have words to um, express my gratitude on how powerful this Doha is. And if we implement it in our life, we can have so much peace and progress. So thank you very much, Subhashji. And I would like to request the audience, if you have any questions or thoughts on this Doha, please share.
Jai Sadgurudeo. Can you hear my voice?
Jai Sadgurudev Lalmani ji. Yes.
I just wanted to give some examples of what Dr. Subhashi shared with us. Some of the realistic example, I would say, here, like upon arrival of Sadgurudeo, we have noticed like a lot of people came to get darshan of Swamiji, and one of them was one of Guru Bhai, Guru Bahan, who called me that day and said that they wanted to get the darshan of Swamiji, and they mentioned that I was there in 2014 event also when Swamiji was here, but for some reason he was not connected with us. So he came to know the very last moment that Swamiji is here, and the time was such that they live little far from here, and many a time we don't know what's going to happen next. So the day they called me, I said, okay, probably darshan will start around 4 o'clock, and it will go by 4:30 or something like that, I said, or 4:30 to 5. So they said that, okay, we are starting. Probably it might take some longer time and might go beyond the time limit, because we might grab some, something to offer to Sadgurudev on the way. So they came, of course, when they reach here, by the time kind of darshan time was over, and so when he arrived, I opened the door and I said, I'm sorry that darshan time is over, and Swamiji is, I think, now started doing something else. Whatever was the next course of action, he was engaged in that. So, but that family, they decided. I mean, initially, of course, when the moment they arrived on the door itself, I told them that the sun time is over. They could have planned to go back and then just end this story, but somehow they felt that, okay, since we arrived here, let's wait some more time, and they waited here. They waited, I would say, about half an hour to 1 hour, I say. And then all of a sudden, we again came to know that actually Swamiji is willing to give darshan. So they of course they become very excited that whatever patience that they shown gave a good result, and eventually they got a very good darshan actually. Initially we thought maybe while Swamiji is leaving, they might get 1 or 2 minutes time, and that would be it. But no, I think the test of patient was good enough to make Sadgurudev happy. So Swamiji actually called them in the room and spent good amount of time with them. So I think why I'm trying to I'm iterating this story here is, many a time when we go for darshan, especially whether it's here or in India also, I think that's one of the uh, opportunity where you have to show your patience, how patient you are. And we have heard so many stories. If you are patient enough, then Sadgurudev really give a good darshan also. So this is one of the example. I think what Dr. Subhaji explained fits very well in this. I just thought to share with everyone. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lalmani ji, for sharing this experience of the disciple and correlating it with the Doha that we discussed. I would like to request if anyone else has any thoughts or would like to share, please do so.
Jai Sadgurudeo, everyone. This is Vijay from New Jersey.
Jai Sadgurudeo, Vijay ji.
While we are connecting here in weekly forum, we still have Sadgurudeo in North Carolina heading for or preparing for 51 Kundiya Havan Karikram today. So if any one of us have any contact in basically it is in Raleigh area, Cary, North Carolina. So if we have anybody who will be available to get the blessings from Sadgurudev and attend 51 Kundiya Havan, I request you to promptly take action, reach them. This will be seva from our side about it. And coming back to the discussion today, the doha that Dr. Subhas ji chose, धीरे से सब होता है बन अधीर क्या पाए, पास लक्ष्य दूर जा पड़े, दूर जात है चंचलता के आए. So here we are talking about lakshya. We are talking about the goal. The irony is that people are leading the life with temporary goal. People are having goals which are short terms, even though we call a long term goal. But with respect to the or with the reference of the journey of a soul, whatever materialistic goal we are making, they are still the short term goal. Even though we say, no, my goal for this life is by the time I die, I should be so and so. And that's a very long term goal for me. Even though we think that it's a long term goal for me, but actually that is a short term goal for the soul. It could be a long term goal for this life, but it is a very short term goal for the soul who have been going through various lives, and this is just one small portion of the circle of life that the soul is going through. So when we are discussing here about the goal of a soul, that is something very related to beyond this one life, but it's related to the soul itself, the bondage of the soul, the liberation of the soul, the happiness of the soul, the bliss, the devotion, the true happiness of the soul. But Doha, fortunately, this Doha that Dr. Subhash ji picked, this applied to all kinds of goal, whether it is short-term goal or a long-term goal. It is just that we aspire for a goal based on our inclination towards it. Whichever goal we feel connected to, we aspire for that. So what is the goal that we feel connected to? Whatever goal we feel connected to, this formula that धीरे से सब होता है बन अधीर क्या पाए, पास लक्ष्य दूर जात है चंचलता के आए. This equally applies to all goals, but the goal that has already become distant for us, rather the goal that we have already forgotten, we need to pay attention to that as well. We already have chanchalta in our mind. We already have the restlessness in our mind for various short-term goals. We want to achieve this, we want to achieve that, we want to achieve next this and next that. And all that has created a turbulence in our mind, because one thing is done and the other thing is still due. So we are never at restful condition. What will make us restful is only when we start pondering about the well-being of the soul. And the byproduct of well-being of the soul itself then is more efficiency and better result in the materialistic life as well. Byproduct of being righteous, being effective in actions, because of being disconnected, detached from the materialistic goal. More we are disconnected or detached from the materialistic goal, more we are restful and more we are effective in our day-to-day life. But in order to become detached from the materialistic goal, And yet being effective in achieving that, we need to have a more pious goal in our life, which we have forgotten. So I wanted to take this opportunity to reawaken this very feeling within us that the prime purpose of human birth is to know who you are and what is the ultimate bliss that you can achieve only in the human life. This opportunity that we have got in terms of being close to Sadgurudeo is a very rare opportunity. And the earnings that we are getting by offering our service to Sadguru is invaluable. Probably we are not realizing it, even though we spend, let's say, $10,000 today in organizing event and in offering service to Sadgurudev. Maybe we are counting, oh, my bank balance is going down by $10,000. But what we are going to get in return, probably we are not realizing that today. Not only in terms of the improvement in our virtues, but Sadguru rini jagat hai, urin kabhi nahi hoy. This is also a 100% proven fact that not only spiritually, but materialistically also, Sadguru is never indebted to anybody. We have seen how things unfold in our life when we are in the service of Sadgurudev. Charo phal Guru Charan. We have truly realized how the four folds of our life is always in progressive journey, when all we ponder upon is making sure that Guru's work continues. Guru's seva continues. The pious mission of spreading this Brahma Vidya knowledge continues. When our attention is towards that, we find that there is a divine attention in shaping our life as well. And so all we need to pay attention on is Guru's karya, Guru's seva, spread of Brahma Vidya. In order to do that, we will ourselves realize that if there is any shortcoming in our character, if there is any fallacy in our views, in our thoughts, you will start experiencing that I need to correct it. Because for us to become the pious medium to spread the most pious wisdom, we also need to be equally truthful, equally pious from within. And that realization will start haunting you if let's say you are in this seva. The moment you continue to be in this seva, all the shortcomings within you will start haunting you. You cannot ignore that anymore. Whereas when you are in day-to-day life chasing materialistic goal, you will pay, ignorant eyes towards whatever shortcoming is in our virtues, because ultimately what matters at that point is whether my materialistic goals are being fulfilled or not. But it does not work that way when you are becoming the medium for the spread of Brahma Vidya knowledge. When you want to talk about this wisdom to somebody, first you start also noticing, oh, before I tell this to others, am I doing something for this? So more you get involved in seva, more you accelerate, more we accelerate our own spiritual journey, our own spiritual growth. And more our spiritual growth is accelerated, more we realize that how come I was not into this 2 years or 5 years or 10 years before itself. More you get in tune with Guru Prachar, the magical or the divine powers of Sadgurudev will become more evident in our life. And when the Sadguru's divinity is evident in our life, then we realize that this walking, talking Sadgurudev, though he speaks just generally, one or the other thing, but, with time you realize, oh, he said so 2 years before when I met him, and now I understand why he had said so at that point of time. And when we are in service continuously, then you will see the outcomes of why Sadgurudev said this to me, or in this service, why Sadgurudev named or coined this person's name also. He said, hey, you need to also get his his opinion, or you want to include this person into this list. Swamiji will tell this all of a sudden, even though you will realize that when the same person came yesterday, Swamiji was asking about his introduction. Okay, tell me who you are, where you have come from. But all that is just the play, just the play. More you stay with Swamiji, more you're into this seva, this becomes very clear that Sadgurudev actually has already got a blueprint of Prachar. The blueprint is really ready. It is just that he is making sure that in order to execute that blueprint, if we are falling short of anything, then that time his divine intervention will happen, and he will say, hey, you need to include this person also here, because that was already designed. That person was supposed to be part of this seva, and if we are missing on that, Sadgurudev will make sure that we take that person into the list. When all this starts happening, you will start feeling a joy, a bliss in offering the service to Sadgurudev. And that bliss factor is required. More you start experiencing the divinity of Sadgurudev, more you will feel connected to the prime goal of human life. Then you will feel that I'm not missing on the happiness in my life, despite I am not paying attention to materialistic goals. Then you or we realize that in offering my time, my money in the spread of Brahma Vidya, in the work of Sadgurudev, is the most useful way of spending my resources. And this will come from within. Your heart, your soul will agree to it. When you offer your time in Sadguru's work, Sadguru will make sure it is also equally challenging. Just yesterday, there was a program getting fixed. And then suddenly, when it became very easy to conduct, Sadgurudev said, no, it is not the time, it's not the right probably occasion to do it. Why? Because then our tapa, the tapa that is required in spreading this knowledge will be gone if it becomes easier for us. Sadgurudev wants us to groom, to progress from within by struggle, by testing. Constantly we are being tested in this journey. But the day we pass in his exam, there is a reward which is also unmatched. And more we get involved, more will witness those leelas and those rewards from Sadgurudev in our life. And that's what actually glue us more towards the service, towards the seva. and also changes our course of life. Now at this point of time, there are devotees in Vihangam Yoga community in America who cannot imagine their life without Vihangam Yoga service, Vihangam Yoga Seva, because now they have realized that it is the waste of my breath if I do not offer my service to Sadgurudeo through Tana, Mana, Dhan and Vani. It has become part of their life. In fact, the greatest satisfaction they get is when their resources are utilized into this seva. But see the mercy of Sadgurudev also. Sadgurudev pays attention to every little seva. We think that he is taking everything casually. He does not. He pays attention to every little seva, or one or the other way, he returns it back. This has been happening in everyone's life. So in all this, all I'm trying to reawaken within ourselves is to understand the glory of Sadgurudev, understand which guru we are connected to, understand which knowledge we are talking about, understand the opportunity as a human life that we have got for the well-being of the soul, and prepare the course of actions in our life henceforth, which will ensure that we adopt, or rather we add, the seva, sadhana and satsang in our daily life. There is actually no alternative to it. Jai Sadgurudev.
Ji, Jai Sadgurudev. Thank you, Vijay ji, for uh, sharing more words of wisdom and explaining so beautifully in such simple words some of the questions that we may be having, and we may be again thinking what to do at this time and how to um, do seva for Sadguru as much as we can. So thank you again, Vijayji. And I would like to ask Subhashi if we can take the next doha.
Ji.
Nituji Jai Sadgurudev, this is Dipti.
Jai Sadgurudev, Dipti ji.
Ji Nituji. So I have a question for Subhashi and Vijay ji. So related to this Doha only. So actually, I follow one organizational psychologist, and actually he has written a lot of books related to leadership, how to manage your time, and how to be successful in your goals. So I just go through all his blogs and his videos whenever I get a chance. So in one of the book, actually he has one of the book which is kind of getting very famous, that 10x is easier than 2x. So he, in that book, actually he is saying, if we are having bigger goal, then we'll be achieving more. Of course we'll be achieving more, but if we are going to have very short goal, and if we are not having very what I would say, just a sec, actually my daughter, she is here, apologies for that. So if we are having very short-term goal, or not very high standard, or yeah, those kind of goals, so we are not really going to improve a lot. And if we are going to have very bigger goals in our life, then we'll be doing new things every day, because the path of reaching there is completely new, and we'll do new things. Like most of the things, like 80% of the things will be new every day for us, and 20% of the thing will be just repeating. But if we are going to have 2x plan for our life, then we are going to have only like 80% will be repeating the same path, and 20% will be the new one. So our success in life will not be in, you know, into that heighter level. So of course, like here as a Vihangam yogi, or since we are part of a spiritual organization, whatever we are planning for our life, of course we have to choose the dharma part first, since we know we have like four things in our life: dharma, kam, arth, moksha. So whatever we are choosing, we have to keep in our mind that the dharma part should be there, and we have to have the pious and righteous goal, and it shouldn't go beyond some limit, and we shouldn't be crossing the pious limit. So here my question is that when I read that book, of course, like it makes sense, but my question is that what Sadhguru has taught us, or is there anything in Swarved Dohas where Sadhguru has instructed us to drive our life in this direction? So this is my question. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Deeptiji, for your beautiful question. And I would like to request Vijayji or Subhashji to please answer this question.
Jai Sadgurudeo. Subhashji, you would like to add few words? Otherwise,
Yes, I can. But please go ahead, and then I will follow your footsteps.
Sadhgurudeo has already mentioned that in this human life, there is one prime goal, but there are multiple secondary goals. Sadhgurudeo did not say that those secondary goals are to be ignored or not paid attention to. But what Sadhgurudeo wanted is those secondary goals should be the ladder for us to achieve the prime goal of life. Those secondary goals should not become the bottleneck for us to derail from the prime goal of human life. So when we keep prime goal of human life in mind, basically the prime goal of human life itself is so huge. It is about becoming one with Almighty. It is about getting the devotion, the bliss of Almighty in our life and liberate. This very prime goal is so gigantic that in order to make a progress towards this prime goal, automatically we pay attention to the purity at all levels in order to, or in an effort to bringing purity in our actions, in our thoughts. We are already making improvement in all aspect of our life, whether it be the relationship with anyone, whether it be the efficiency at work. Everything is related to how controlled our life is. If our thoughts are controlled, if we are disciplined in our life, if our character can be defined by others, if we are not unpredictable by others, if people know that, hey, this person has a character, he cannot just keep changing his words because he is true to his words, his actions are definable, we know he can do this and he will deny this because we can define his character. When everything is so crystal clear in the way we behave, in the way we speak, in the way we act, then this is where it is said that if we protect our dharma, if we protect dharma, then dharma protect us. Meaning, if we remain in the realm of dharma, in the righteousness, then everybody around us, all the relationships that we are with, all the work that we do, in all those aspects, we being righteous, rightful, truthful, definable, actually helps in making improvement and making progress. Not only making self improvement, but also the results start showing up. But all that is happening not because we are paying attention to those results, those materialistic secondary goal, but because we are paying attention to making progress in our prime goal. Our attention remains same, that no matter what, I will not compromise on my prime goal of my life. When our attention is there, then automatically whatever we do, we want to make that as a medium for us to progress in the prime goal. If we are dealing with anybody in our business, we want to make sure that we become trustworthy for my partner or my customer, because that's my character. I cannot take the blame that I cheated somebody. I cannot take this blame. I cannot victimize anybody. I cannot do intentional harm to anybody, because that's no more my character. And why so? Because I want to make progress in my spiritual journey. So when this goal, the prime goal, is always in our head, you will see that the improvement, the efficiency, the results, everything will show up in every arena of life, provided we are really truthfully, uh, you know, truthfully aiming for the prime goal. There are many people who just say that, I want to be righteous, but they also compare, but see, when this guy was not righteous, he is making more progress than me. That means our attention is not in being righteous. That means our attention was actually in progress. That is the problem. That is the problem. This is why we wanted to compare. Hey, I was righteous and this guy was not righteous. But see, this guy who is not righteous is making more progress than me. This very comparison shows that our attention was not about being righteous, but our attention was in progress. And then we were discouraged because the person who wasn't righteous, he made more rapid progress than me. This is not the way we lead to the prime goal of life. Rather, we should be joyful and happy, and our progress, our real progress, should be measured in terms of how long we could continue in the righteousness. That is our progress. We did not have to compromise on our righteousness. That is our progress. We did not get compulsion from the surrounding, from the people, to leave our path of righteousness. That is our progress. If somebody had to, even somebody gained more materialistically, but at the cost of leaving his righteousness, then that is the derailment, or rather the depression from the growth. I would say the real growth is inner growth. If we are able to maintain that, even though it is less materialistic outside in the beginning, I would still say, even though at that moment, even though that comparison, if we go to that comparison and we think that at that moment our materialistic progress is less than the guy who is doing injustice to people, that is very temporary comparison. In long term, you will realize that you are preparing the potential to better growth than that person, because righteousness, the dharma, protects you, but adharma always shatters you. If not today, tomorrow. Adharma will always shatters you. It will defeat you one day. So with all in mind, Sadgurudeo said in one doha, मैं उत्तम ऐसा बनूं जैसा होए न कोई, नहीं भूत वर्तमान में, नहीं भविष्य में. Swamiji has always said, always only pay attention to the improvement of your virtues. Uttam. Try to become the Uttam human being. Try to become the Uttam Shishya. Try to become the Uttam Sevak. If you continue to pay attention to only that and not to the results and the outcomes that you see materialistic outside, then everything else will follow. Thank you. Jaisad.
Thank you very much, Vijayji, for this beautiful explanation and explaining it so well in such simple words, and also sharing this doha from Swarved. I would like to ask Deepti ji if you have any other question or
No, Neetuji, Vijayji answered this question very beautifully, and of course, like the core intention, what I had to know what Sadhguru has instructed us how to drive our life, and Vijayji answered it so beautifully. So thank you so much, Vijayji. I'm good.
okay. So looking at the time, Subhashji, I think we should move to the next phase of today's satsang.
Gigi, sure. I was hoping to shed some light on that question, but yes, we do
Sure,
not.
Subhashji, please, sorry, please share your
Fine.
thoughts on the question.
No, we have
I
10
was
minutes.
asking about the next doha, if we can take it up, but please share your thoughts on the question Deepti ji asked.
No, Vijayji already answered it, and it's absolutely fine. So we can discuss the next doha in the next session.
Sure. So, so then let's move on to the next phase of today's satsang. Which is warriors and inductees of the week. We would like to inform everyone about an initiative NAIVY has started called Warrior of the Week. We all know the best time to meditate is Brahma Muhurt between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. But most of us fail to do so. To encourage this, NAIVY started this initiative where participants who have joined the WhatsApp group called Brahma Muhurt Warriors practice Brahma Muhurt meditation on their own and report the status as done on the group once they have completed the meditation. There is no session to join. Once they are done with the meditation, the disciple sends the status to the group as done every day or when they complete this meditation. Warriors of the week are those disciples who have done meditation in Brahma Muhurt every day of the week. The names of warriors for this week are Bhagwati Patel ji, Surya Alam Raju ji, Tejinder ji. Inductees of the week are those disciples who have done meditation for at least one day during the week. Inductees of this week are Amit Talekar ji, Lalmani ji, Sudhanshu Kumar ji, Dipti ji, Srirang ji, Ranjini ji, Tanuja ji, Prachi Shirsagar ji, Yogesh Shirsagar ji. Congratulations to the warriors and inductees, and thank you for being a constant source of motivation for us. If any one of you is interested to join the WhatsApp group for Brahmamurt warriors, please let us know and we can add you. We have now reached the last phase of today's satsang. In this phase, we chant the short version of Vandana, Aarti, and Shanti Path. Vandana is the prayer through which we seek blessings of Sadguru. We request well being of health, wealth, and seek his blessings for spiritual knowledge. I would request Devji to sing the last few lines of Vandana. Over to you, Devji.
Vandana. Prabhu Kalpa Santa Samaja Uttam Sarvadam Acharya He Timinajya Sriti Sindhu Ki He Ishvapathamaya Karya He Prabhu Sacha Santa Samaja Tira Aparaksha Kijiye Jana Sadafala Jana Bhakti Priti Dina Dina Kijiye.
Thank you, Devji. Aarti is the prayer offered to the Sadguru. Here, we acknowledge the power of Almighty and pray that all disciples experience eternal joy, love, and freedom from worries under His holy guidance. I request everyone to stand up for the Aarti, and I request Devji to sing the last few lines of Aarti. Over to you, Devji.
Arti. Guru Murati Kati Kandrama Sarvaka Nayana Chakur Palaka Palaka Nikata Rahe Guru Marathi Ki O Shweta Shweta Maya Shweta He Shweta Shweta Maya Shweta Tina Pada Amriti Bara Shwet Mahamada Shwet Ashta Chakra Sabasunya Para Dara Dara Kipa Tahan Sadafala Garakia Bulipada Sansar. Thank you.
Thank you, Devji. The final prayer is Shanti Path. In the Shanti Path, we chant for peace for everyone who exists in this universe. May Sadgurudev bless the entire cosmos with peace, love, and prosperity. I request everyone to sit down for the Shanti Path, and I request Devji to recite the last few lines of Shanti Path. Over to you, Devji.
Shantipat. He Prabhu Shanti Sarupa Ho Shanti Shanti Maya Shanti 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 Jana Shanti Ho Purna Shanti Maya Shanti He Prabhu Shanti Pradana Kara Duraho Sarva Shanti Deva Sada Phala Shanti Maya Shanti Shanti Sukha Shanti Jasaguradev. Thank you.
Jai Sadgurudev. Thanks a lot, Devji, for the wonderful recitation of Vandana, Aarti, and Shanti Path in such a soulful voice. Today's session concludes here. I would like to thank Subhashji and Vijayji for sharing the pearls of wisdom and selecting a doha that we can not only implement in our spiritual progress, but also use that and implement it for our day-to-day life. We also learned that it is so important to keep our focus on the one goal that we have given this human life for, that is to unite with the Almighty in Sadguru's Seva, and then to also align our worldly, our daily, even mundane activities towards the attainment of this goal and be on the path of Dharma. So, thank you very much, everyone, for the discussion today. I thank each one of you for joining the session and request everyone to ponder over the topic we discussed today. Thanks to Subhashji, Vijayji, Lalmaniji, Deeptiji, Devji, Niranjanji for their valuable contribution in today's satsang. The Navy has been conducting Sunday telephonic satsangs and Vihangam Yoga initiation workshops all over the USA and North America over the last few years. Any queries relating to this can be sent as an email to info@vihangamyoga.org. I pray to Sadguru to bless you with peace, prosperity, and progress. Have a wonderful week ahead. See you all next Sunday at 10:30 a.m. EST on the same Zoom meeting. Jai Sadgurudev.